Yeah, like I said, man, take care of yourself and take care of her. The show is secondary, man. You know that. You don't have to apologize for skipping a week. You really, you guys take care of each other. Don't. All of us who love you so much will understand if you skip a week or two.
This is all Captain Billy's fault.
That's who we're blaming it on anyway.
This is all Captain Billy's fault. Captain Billy, in last week's voicemail message, told me that real life gets in the way and we got to take care of ourselves before we take care of the podcast. So
he spoke that into existence, didn't he?
Yeah. Thanks, Pep.
Thanks, Billy.
Oh.
No, but seriously.
Seriously, this is episode 60 of Bride of Monster Kid Radio, the podcast devoted to the classic and sometimes not so classic genre cinema of yesteryear. I'm your writer, host, and producer, Derek M. Cook, joined by
Beth Cook.
That's you.
That's me. The bride. The Monster Kid.
Yes.
Who does the radio.
Who does the radio. That's right. I does the radio.
You does the radio. I've been watching a lot of stuff set in Yorkshire, so all my verbs are all not correct right now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So right before I hit record, you said something that I really liked. I wish I had recorded about.
I said, the world's been crazy this last week. Our world's been crazy on a more personal level this last week, and yet we did not want to let a week go by without touching base with our favorite monster base, all of you.
Monster base. I like that. There's something there. I don't know, like
a T-shirt or something. I don't know.
All of your monster base belong to us or something. I don't know. Something. There's something there.
Okay.
Something there.
But seriously, it's 2026.
Has been for a couple weeks.
Has been for a couple weeks or months, depending on how you've measured them. And we are planning out the entire year of content. Now, a few things are semi-predetermined by, dates of certain things coming out from...
I'm sorry, can I interrupt? We're going to plan the entire year? That seems like
a goal.
That seems like a commitment.
2 cups of coffee? Okay. But seriously, we are planning out the whole next season of Bride of Monster Kid Radio, and we would love some of your input because there are places where we have yet to make decisions, and we always want to bring you what you want to hear. Definitely some of the things we're going to cover this year include all of the great classic monster movies that are going to come out as new movies, whether they be an homage like The Bride, which I think is especially appropriate for us to cover, obviously, here. To straight up just horror flicks. We got new mummies, we've got new werewolves, we've got a very Love Tale Dracula thing coming out from some of the film festivals later in the year. All things that we plan on covering. Werewolves, if you want it in the original. Werewolf. Werewolf.
Their castle. So,
no.
But The Bride's coming out here very soon, right?
The Bride is coming out, and it's for Maggie Gyllenhaal, another feature film. I loved almost everything she's ever been in, and then recently directed. Can't wait to see how this goes. Anything with a Sarsgaard, I'll usually show up and buy a ticket to. So. That's a good one too, and
which means basically every other horror movie
in existence, right?
Sarsgaards are the Baldwin of the horror industry.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about that coming out here, and there's some exciting stuff coming out in live entertainment too this year. We have some big anniversaries of franchises going on. I know Universal Horror Nights has expanded to sort of a year-round calendar where they're offering events year-round. Coming up in April, we've got Scooby-Doo versus the classic Universal Monsters at the parks, where they're selling special night event tickets and stuff, and I think that sounds really like a fun time. And we want to know, if you're going to go, why don't you be one of our roving reporters? Some of our best love segments from this past season have been our just roving reporters, you guys showing us the cool little monstery things in your hometowns and the festivals that are traveling around the country. We want to know about the experiences so we know when we, if we want to go, whether this year or in a following year. So yeah, reach out and let us know by email, by call, by 3, 4, 17 calls stitched together, Captain Billy. Just kidding. We'll do the work because we want to put in the work to give you guys what you want.
I keep threatening to do like a cyber street team kind of thing, and that would feed right into it. I still don't know what that looks like. That's something that Beth and I are going to sit down and figure out. But I would like to definitely get more people out there doing stuff. We've got Mike always sending in recordings from Monster Bash, which is awesome. So, I mean, he's obviously one of our guys.
And of course, our beloved weekly contributors.
Right. We got Mark and we got Kenny. When Jeff and Dominique send in stuff, of course. And even when like Steve Turek and company, fill in for us.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. But we want to expand that. We want to have more Monster Kid Radio irregulars. And it would be a lot of fun just to kind of hear from some other people. With the way technology is now, if you've got a smartphone, you can record something. I can edit that and make it sound pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah. He does a pretty good job with
stuff.
With my stuff anyway. You should hear it. It's like straight Klingon before he gets his hands on it.
She actually has like a horrible Slavic accent and speaks exclusively through one nostril.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know that from what I do here on the show.
He likes his monsters. He's got a type. I don't know.
I want to go back to the movies real quick though, because you mentioned The Mummy. I didn't even know that was happening until Tom.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Doffelstein said something about how he's looking forward to The Mummy because he wasn't a big fan of the new Frankenstein, which is okay. We can still be friends.
Yeah, I really liked it, but they teach their own.
And so we were asking him, me and Matt and a few of the others, like, well, what mummy? It's like, The Mummy. It's like, that's a broad. There's a lot of movies called The Mummy. But I went and found it. Lee Cronin's the director. I don't know much about him. I watched the trailer. It doesn't seem very mummy to me. Have you watched the trailer yet?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, there's some Egyptology creepy in it, but...
Okay, I'll give you that. But I kind of like that. Take your own take on it. And honestly, the same thing with the bride. I love that we're following the actual bride this time because, no offense, but she gets very little screen time and like one good scream in the entire movie named after her.
Anything more than 5 minutes.
It is really on the upside at this point. Plus, from some of the shots that I've seen, some of the stills that they've put out, the trailer that was in the theater with all the black, it is not black, it is red.
I suspected that. I said that when we saw the trailer for it.
That they posted it down so they could put it in more,
They didn't want a red green trailer, so they took the red out. But we got The Bride, we've got The Mummy coming as well. And, I'm a sucker for a mummy movie. I love mummy films. The Tom Cruise one left a lot to be desired, but there's just something about mummies.
They have rules. See, they're in that genre of horror and that I like because there are rules. And if you would just follow the rules, you'd be fine. But they're not going to. And that's the anticipatory horror of it. That claws at your throat and then makes you jump. It's what we do in the scare industry where we scare you for 50 feet before the guy jumps out. He doesn't jump out the minute you enter the haunted house. You got to get into it and be ready to be scared. And I feel like because they're going to break the rules and then pay the consequence.
They're proto-slashers.
Yeah.
They're proto-slashers. Exactly. And I'm not the first person to come up with this. This was something I heard from a Hammer film historian. But they're proto-slashers. They're basically the monsters that get you after you violate some sort of unspoken or maybe even spoken rule. In the case of the mummies, it's, stay out of my house.
Yeah. It's usually just don't mess with the dead.
Yeah.
This is not really a hard one.
Right. Whereas, with the other slasher movies and all that, and I've made no secret about this. I'm a sucker for the Friday the 13th films, right or wrong.
Well, that kind of is a stay out of my house.
Is that it?
In a way, his house is just, think of his house more like a wild panther or so cougar that has a territory. Instead of a brick or a stick building, he's got a zone, and really he doesn't go outside his zone.
And when he does, it's a disaster, like Part 8. Where
it's really bad, yeah. It does not go well for him because he broke the rules.
He broke the rules.
See?
Oh, okay.
See, if he's in his house, you got to play by his rules. But if he leaves his house, it ain't his house no more. So he can't make the rules.
You know what? This is all like
This is the kind of thing we want to talk to you about. You want to be on the podcast?
I kind of want to write like
Drop the line.
a new age meta kind of slasher movie now, just called "Stay Out of My House."
Just stay out of my house.
Right. But yeah, so
Yeah.
not that we're going to talk about Friday the 13th on Bride of Monster Kid Radio.
Although there are 3 of them this year.
There are 3 of them this year.
Good year for spooky and a Saturday Halloween.
Yeah, so there is a Friday the 13th film that I would like to talk about here on the show that I've never talked about here on the show. It's called Black Friday. It takes place on Friday the 13th. It stars Lugosi and Karloff.
Oh, I'd be in for that.
I'm a big fan of that film, and I've never talked about it here on the show, which is something that I want to do as well, is talk about some of the movies like last week with The Invisible Agent, where I talk about how much I like it and just have never gotten around
It was a really fun one.
It was really good.
I have been in the past less partial to that particular monster, so that was a really nice take on that one.
It really was. I feel like you mentioned a third film. Was there a third film?
There's a Dracula, A Love Tale.
So Dracula, A Love Tale. I know a little bit about this. It's Luc Besson, who directed The Fifth Element and a bunch of other movies. And it was brought to my attention by a coworker. She knows that I like monster movies and horror movies, and we were talking, and she said she was trying to get her hands on Dracula, A Love Tale because she knew it had been released in France and wanted to know if I knew any ways going into various parts of the internet to get my hands on it. I did not, but then I started researching the film and realized what it was. Now, I'm going to be honest, I've heard mixed reviews.
Well,
It's French.
It's French. And they, in the way that the English do humor in a particular way, I think the French do horror in a particular way.
They do. And Luc Besson's films also get mixed reviews.
Yes.
So we'll see.
I think it's one of these where you're going to need to watch it for what it is.
Yeah, and I'm excited to check it out. Once it becomes available somewhere, I want to see it. But there's a 4th film that you didn't mention that I'm really excited about.
Which one? Oh, Godzilla. I was waiting till we talked about the Universal monsters to get to the overseas monsters or the in the seas monsters.
Well, this one's overseas. It's French. I would die if Dracula did that in the movie. If Dracula pulled a Pepe Le Pew in the film, instant.
Oh, he's just hopping down the boulevard under the Champs-Élysées.
I want to suck your blood. Yes, I'm in.
My little baguette.
Yes. All right. But, Godzilla Minus Zero, which I was shocked to find out has a 2026 release date.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to take more time, and I am so excited. And yeah, we're going to talk about it.
Oh, the -1, I'm all in for 0. So yeah.
Yep.
I think for you though, it's particular monsters involved.
Well, there's
rumors.
There's rumors we're going to get Ghidorah.
Yeah.
And that would be cool. Super, super cool. It's another anniversary though. Speaking of kaiju.
Mm-hmm.
Your girl. Mothra.
My Mothra, yeah.
And we have a book here that was sent to us by a publisher. Mm-hmm. It's a translation of the short novel.
I believe that's correct, yes.
I'm sorry, I don't have it in front of me, but I am going to be talking about that here soon. Matt has read it.
Oh, brilliant.
And I know that I would like to get him on to talk about it once I have a chance to read it. I will, if you want to be part of that conversation or not. Sure. But that would be fun to get into as well. But yeah, we got Mothra coming up. Any other big films that you could think of?
Not off the top of my head, but if you have one that we've missed, definitely hit us up and make us aware.
So I said big films. There are little films always happening, and I do have a couple, including one called A Blind Bargain that was a winner at the H.P. Lovecraft Film Festival.
Ooh.
It is an indie film. It stars the weird guy, Back to the Future, Colin, the skinny dude.
That played the dad?
Played George McFly.
Yeah.
I think he's...
Well, now I can't think of his name because you've...
said George McFly. Yeah, he plays the skinny guy in Charlie's Angels and a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
But he's the lead, I believe.
Okay.
In A Blind Bargain, it's a remake of a Lon Chaney Sr. film.
Oh.
I can't wait. There's also a vampire zombie from space movie.
I feel like we're getting a little bit of a renaissance kicking in starting this year, and I think that's good. I think we need that.
And I want to do better about catching up with Christopher Mim.
Yes.
Because we have...
I know better projects coming out of there, too.
You know, we have fallen off a little bit, and I want to, beyond having an incredibly cool Mimiverse,
yeah,
available in the big cartel shop, I want to support him. You know, we've kind of fallen off, and I want to get that, re-nurture that relationship between Team Death, Bride of Monster Kid Radio, and Saint Euphoria and All for George Productions.
Absolutely.
So, as well as other indie filmmakers we want to reach out to and have more contact and connections with. So if you are an indie filmmaker or know any indie filmmakers that are doing things that would be right at home in the Bride of Monster Kid Radio wheelhouse, closet, attic space, creepy cabin in the woods, reach out to us and let us know. You know, I go over the contact information at the top and the bottom of the show. There is no traditional top this time. So monsterkidradio@gmail.com. Shoot me an email. Let me know what's up. Convention-wise.
Conventions.
We got conventions.
What all do we have? I know here locally, we're going to be at FanFest. Fan Fusion.
I'm going to do Fan Fusion, and I'm trying to figure out a way to get involved with them as well as with the Game On Expo.
Okay.
But I also know there's the big Dark Shadows convention happening.
And I know we have a few Monster Kids already signed up to go to that.
Jeff and Dominique are both going to go. Jeff, he wanted to know if we were going to go, and Dominique's response was, I already got my room, you know, so, and, you know, Penny Dreadful's going to be there.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, from Welcome to Collinwood, banger of a podcast and YouTube show, and, you know, I don't know if we could ever cover it as well as she would, but if you're going to go, or Jeff and Dominique, if y'all want to cover it too, individually, separate, I don't care. I want it.
Yeah.
I want to hear about it, because it doesn't look like we're going to be going. Ansel Faraj will probably be there as well, another indie filmmaker, friend of the show, and apparently friend with every surviving member of the Dark Shadows cast. Will more than likely be there too, which would be super, super cool.
Yeah.
But that's coming up. You know, obviously there's a couple of Monster Bashes this year, one in the summer, one in the fall. There's the Lovecraft Film Festival in October in the Portland area, you know, and a number of other things. So we want to be more involved in the convention scene. We really do. I miss it. I miss it so much.
I've had such fun. All the ones we've attended, I've had such a good time. So I'd love us to be able to travel a few more, do a few more. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
You know, moving cross country is no joke, folks.
Yeah, I mean, part of it's financial, part of it's, you know, health, part of it's, you know, just having the time. But I miss being involved and doing panels and even introducing movies. I miss that. So I want to get more involved with that. So if you have any ins or connections or have the ear of any convention organizers or theater programmers, hook a brother up. Just saying. What else we got?
That's about it for my list for this year so far, but that's why we need your input.
Right.
You know, we're going to probably stick to some of our classics like Kaiju Lie where we can. I always love doing a little Kaiju Lie.
You want to do Kaiju Lie?
A few Kaiju Lie episodes at least because, you know, for my birthday, that's always a fun one to do. But
we can do Kaiju Lie this year. Lucha de Mayo. I know that I've kind of fallen off a little bit with that sometimes. And it's because I'm kind of running out of luchador movies that have monsters in them.
Oh.
But I'm a sucker for a luchador movie. I don't care. So maybe we'll bringing that back this year as well. We'll see.
Well, if you have a luchador movie with a monster in it that you don't think Derek has seen, and that is a challenge, let me tell you, send us that because we would love to talk to you about that monster movie.
I want to make something clear because of something you just said, something that I have seen. I know that I have said a couple of times over this past year, since we relaunched.
Yeah.
I know I've talked about this on the show before, but it's my show. I don't care. I want to talk about it again. And I want to keep that. But there are still so many movies out there that I have not talked about. And I know sometimes it gets harder to find them because I have talked about so many and I don't have a master list. I wish I did, but I just stopped keeping track. I want to dip into some of these movies that I haven't talked about before. like we did last week with Invisible Agent, or like we're going to for Black Friday. I've decided we're doing Black Friday, by the way.
Okay.
But, I want to do more of that too. So if there are some out there, I want to hear about it. I want to hear about it. I did work a little bit on the website the other day.
Ooh.
I finally added our Blue Sky link.
Okay.
And I finally removed some stuff that went back to like 2018 or whatever, like links that aren't really.
Ooh, free me.
Yeah, pre you. Pre us, not pre you. Or say,
Yes.
you are young, just not that young.
Yeah, no.
But one thing that's on there that I think I left, but I had to change it because I mentioned Skype is, do you want to be a guest on Monster Kid Radio? Fill out this form. I hadn't touched that in years.
Okay.
So I went and I looked at the 75 entries that are on there. Yeah, there's a lot on there of people that I've not reached out to. And it's my fault. I did reach out to a number of them, and 3 of them almost immediately wrote back and said, yes, I'm still in.
Because that's our Monster Kids.
So we're going to have some new voices.
Nice.
We're going to have some new people on the show if I can schedule things out.
That's the nice thing, the new age of media and recording, and where a smartphone can record, or, even most just laptops have a fairly decent thing on where we can record a segment with you. You don't necessarily have to have tip-top equipment to record a short segment for us.
If you've always wanted to be on the podcast proper, not just with a voicemail, although that's cool too, reach out, man. I want to hear from you.
Absolutely.
I want to hear from you. And if there's anybody who's been on the show in a while, that hasn't been on there for a while that you want to hear from, reach out, man, or reach out to them and have them reach out to us. Because there are a lot of people from the past, it's been 15 years, right? It's been forever, that have been on the show as a one and done, or haven't been on the show in a couple of years, or since the very beginning.
We want to get back in touch.
Yeah. And part of the reason we're doing this is just to kind of reconnect and grow the community, So
2026 Monster Kids is the year of you. Reach out to us. Let us know what you want to hear us talk about. Let us know what you want to talk about and what you want to report on. We want to hear from you, all about you this year, wherever we can make it happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Thing.
For sure. Now,
send the message, make the call.
You're not going to hear from Mark this week. We're going to save his Beta Capsule review for next week for a regular episode. And Kenny has a Look at Famous Monsters of Filmland that is all about kind of looking ahead at things.
Oh,
kind of
perfect.
Retro style, though. It's like, because it's an older magazine, and it's a really cool article that he dips into. So we have that. That'll be coming next week as well. And I'm going to switch over to the main computer to record the outro so I can give you the voicemail number, because I still don't have it committed to memory. Anything before I do that, Beth?
No, that's it. Just sending my love out to all y'all Monster Kids out there, and any of you that have been down with little colds and stuff through this winter. I'm right there with you. So feel better, stay strong, and drop us a line.
Wait, so this is a cold? This isn't that super sexy one nostril Slavic accent?
No, this is special. This is seasonal.
Crispin Glover. That's the dude's name. Don't know why I forgot that. And anyway, Crispin Glover is in the A Blind Bargain remake. So we will be talking about that in the future here on the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's see. The other movie that I was talking about, the vampire zombie thing, Vampire Zombies from Space. We're going to be talking about that in the future as well. And then the Mothra book that we were talking about, it's called The Luminous Fairies and Mothra, came out at the beginning of this year. Actually, officially, it didn't get released until a couple of days ago, but we've had our hands on it for a little while. It is a translation by Jeffrey, I believe it's Angels. It could be Angles. I apologize if I've got it wrong. But this is a translation of the book that was written just months after a number of political demonstrations in Japan. It's just, I'm excited to get into this. I haven't read it yet, but I'm super stoked to read that and talk about it here on the show as well. And if you want to get your hands on this book, I'm going to make it real easy for you. There will be a link in the show notes. And as I've mentioned repeatedly in the past, we are an Amazon affiliate. So if you do pick up the book using this particular link, well, it helps us out a little bit as well. So please do that. You can find that over at monsterkidradio.net. And that's where you're going to find our contact information, including that voicemail line whose number I really need to commit to memory the way Captain Billy has. It is 360-524-3232. 2484. Of course, you can always email us at monsterkidradio@gmail.com. And if you wanted to attach an audio file to that, if you want to fully produce something, if you're feeling froggy, that would be awesome. I'll play that on the show, or, Beth and I will just read the email together. As she stated and has stressed repeatedly, we can only grow the community if we are serving the community, and you are the community. What do you want to see? Scratch that. What do you want to hear on Bride of Monster Kid Radio in 2026? Beth and I are going to be trying to brainstorm a little bit, put our heads together, and come up with what we want to do. But I want to know what y'all want to do. And like I said, call in, please. You can call in and leave that voicemail, 360-524-2484. That is a voicemail that has a hard 3-minute limit, but if you go over 3 minutes, I will just combine the voicemails into one smooth communication. I got your back. Like you have ours when you tell people about your favorite podcast called Bride of Monster Kid Radio. I don't know why you would have a second favorite podcast named Bride of Monster Kid Radio. There's only one podcast named Bride of Monster Kid Radio, so by default, I guess we are the favorite Bride of Monster. Anyway, send them to monsterkidradio.net. That's where you're going to find all the links to everything that we've talked about here on the show, including that Blue Sky link, the X link, Instagram, Facebook. We're there, man. Patreon too, where you can become a free member. You can become a paying patron, which helps us out quite a bit, but you can become a free member over on Patreon as well, because when I post the show notes later in the week, this is the only place that I announce what's coming up on the next episode, although I think we've kind of let the cat out of the bag on this one. The next episode is the look ahead at 2026 and what we're going to do with the remaining 11-ish months of the year, at least the plans, the goals, the dreams, the machinations that we're going to put in place. Anyway, something that Beth and I did not talk about, the rumor has it, nominations are open for the Rondo Hatton Classic Horror Awards. I want you to go over to the Classic Horror Film Board message boards. It's over at classichorrorfilmboard.com. Get in there and find the thread where you can start suggesting nominees for the 24th annual Rondo Hatton Classic Horror Awards. You can nominate your favorite movie, book, podcast, Blu-ray release, TV show, all sorts of stuff. I think they're still doing the fiction category, which is all kinds of cool. You can also nominate Monster Kids to go into the Monster Kid Hall of Fame or Monster Kid of the Year. It's really cool. The Rondos are special. We did win a Rondo years ago here at Monster Kid Radio, and as much as I'd love to earn another one so that I could have a tag team partner for the one that I have sitting on my shelf, really, I think it would be awesome if the Bride of Monster Kid Radio audience could all come together and just really help make sure that the Classic Horror Film Board and the Rondo Awards Committee, knows what's up. Let them know what some of your favorite things are. Favorite magazine covers, favorite artist, favorite short film, favorite documentary. There's all sorts of different categories you can vote in. Again, link in the show notes to the Classic Horror Film Board. Get over there. Make some noise. Let them know that Bride of Monster Kid Radio sent you. That brings us to the end of the show. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks to Beth to being on the show this week. Honestly, she hasn't been feeling that great the past few days. Picked up a bug somewhere, and that she actually volunteered. It was her idea to do the show this week the way that we did. Just huge thanks to my lovely wife, who I love dearly and really does not speak with a Slavic accent, speaking exclusively out of one nostril. She actually uses both. But again, big thanks to Beth for being involved in the show. And again, thank you for listening to the show, being part of the show, and just being the monster kid that you are. Bride of Monster Kid Radio is a Team Death production. All original content of Bride of Monster Kid Radio is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives 4.0 Unported license. You can learn more about Team Death, our other projects like Death Designs, Mail Order Zombie, the Team Death YouTube channel, and more at www.teamdeath.com. Remember, death is spelled D-E-T-H. All previous episodes of this podcast, as well as the original Monster Kid Radio podcast, are available at www.monsterkidradio.net. Please rate and review Bride of Monster Kid Radio wherever you download your favorite podcasts. My name is Derek M. Cook, and I'll talk to everybody next week. Ciao.